and welcome or welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? I hope you all are doing super duper well. So like every single day or night I was scouring YouTube for all of my subscription videos and recommended videos and all that stuff, and I came across a video by, I think her name is Sophie Louise. I will link that video down below to give full credit for this idea to her. What she did was one half of her face with how she did her makeup like a year ago at the beginning of 2017 versus the other half of her face how she does her makeup now, and see how she's grown with her techniques and products and things like that. And I thought that would be super fun for me to do because honestly over the past year I have grown so much in makeup and the application and products that I use and researching the correct products to use for my skin, etc. I am in no way a beauty guru or a makeup artist. I will never claim to be that. I'm just a girl that really likes to play with makeup. So if that sounds like something that you're into, then keep on watching. Alright, I'm gonna zoom you guys in just a little bit so you guys can see that my eyebrows are a disaster today. So I think what I'm gonna do is the left side of my face will be how I did my makeup before, and then the right side of my face will be how I did my makeup now. So let's start off with foundation. I didn't use primer before and I still have not gotten into primers, or at least found a primer that works for me. So I'm gonna stay away from primers for this video because that's just not how I do things around here. When I first got into makeup, really got into makeup, I'm not talking high school doing my makeup or anything like that, although that would be an interesting video to make because that was also a disaster. I started using liquid foundation at kind of the beginning of last year, or end of 2016 into 2017. But the first liquid foundation that I got was this right here. It is the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation in the shade Light 4. And basically the only reason that I got this is because Zoella uses it. Or at least she used to use it. But I idolized her. Zoella was one of the YouTubers that inspired me to make my own channel. I just loved her so much. I still love her. But that's where this foundation came from. I didn't necessarily look into or understand that foundations, just because they work for one person's skin tone doesn't mean they work for another. I didn't understand the concept of oily skin versus combination versus dry skin and what would work. I also didn't really understand shades. So just looked really awful. It was better by the end, but it's just really light. So I'm going to take a little bit. Also, this didn't have a pump applicator, so that sucked. Come out. Coming? Oh, it's coming. Alright, so I would blot that right on my hands, just like I saw all of the people doing on YouTube. Shade actually doesn't look terrible because I'm really pale right now. But, okay, so I'm going to apply this to just this half. Oh, I shouldn't have put so much on because I'm only doing half. I would go down the neck because I've been doing that since my mom taught me how to first do some basic makeup application. She was like, you know those girls in school that have that line in their face? And then I was like, yeah. And she's like, that's because they don't blend down their neck. And I was like, noted. And then this next step pains me to even do it today. So I would then take my fingers, okay, and I would just go for it. Yep. Oh, that's right. What's a beauty blender? I don't know. What's a makeup brush? I'm not sure. This is just how we would do things around the Dingle channel. Yes, it is as terrible as I remember, but back then I didn't think it was actually that terrible. I thought I was just doing what everyone else does, or I just didn't really listen to anyone else, and I was like, no, fingers fine. I would also take it and make sure that it got all over my lid, which looking back on it, I'm like, not terrible, but I did look very ghostly before I applied anything else anywhere. Look at that, that's insane. I look like a also, this is definitely not my shade. It is extremely orange. And we're just gonna take it down the neck. Oh my god. Not only did I understand, not understand shades and stuff, but I also didn't understand, skin types. And this is Sheer Glow Foundation, meaning it's very luminous and it's extremely not good for oily skin. So I would get oily throughout the day and I always thought, oh, that's just my skin type, nothing can help that. That's just how I am with makeup on my face, and I'm willing to sacrifice that because I want to look stunning. stunning in my orange foundation. Like, I look back on this and I'm like, thank goodness gracious that I learned something. I just feel like I look, one, like just a completely flat blank canvas, like what on earth was I doing? And two, just an orangey mess. That's as good as we're gonna get there. And I'm just gonna take a makeup wipe off the excess that I have. And also, I'm going to make sure that half of my face is just one or the other, so that you guys, when I do my current makeup, don't see any of this crap on it. Moving on to the foundation that I use currently today and how I apply it. I use and have used for months and months now the Lancome Taint Idol Ultra 24-Hour Makeup. It's just so good. I did my own research and I also went into Sephora to ask their opinions there. I have oily skin, it gets oily throughout the day. I don't want something that's super high coverage, like crazy high coverage, as well as like cakey, you know, and they recommended this and it's amazing. I still do the same thing, so I put a little dot on my hand and on my finger, and just to blot it on my face. Still the same dot application, because you know, it's pretty. And then I have since discovered this amazing invention called a beauty blender, and I just go in and dab, 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 dab. Also, side note, the first time that I ever used a beauty blender, I didn't know you had to wet it. So I was using it and like the product was disappearing right before my eyes, and I was like, what the heck? How do people use this invention? I also just close my eye and blend it across my eye, but I don't cake it on the eyelid so that I don't look as flat, you know? So there's that half of my face application. I don't know about you, but it's looking far better. This looks more natural, I feel like, and just my shade. I'm gonna go in with concealer. By 2017, I was using a concealer. However, I was using this concealer that I got in one of my Ipsy Glam bags. It is the, what does it say? Boo Boo Cover Up Concealer. And I just assumed, again, that this shade would be okay. It's skin colored, so why wouldn't it work? And also, not why wouldn't it work for me, but it'll work in all areas of my face. The same shade will work under my eyes, as well as if I'm actually trying to conceal something. No, I should not put a lighter shade under my eyes. That's just silly. It's so orange. Like, it is so orange. I would, oh my god, it's so orange. And I think that's just where I would put it. I don't think I would put it, oh, and then I would just conceal stuff on my skin. And of course, because I did not discover the beauty blender yet, I didn't use my fingers, but I did go in. I had this concealer brush that I had from like high school or something. It's the Bare Minerals Max Coverage Concealer. So since it says concealer on it, obviously it's for concealer, you know? That's what I knew. And then I would just take it, this orange mess of concealer, and I wouldn't go down, I wouldn't do the triangle thing. This is so difficult. Go there, and then when it was done, I would pat it with my, I would not pat it, I would actually go swipe to just move the product, because that makes sense, you know, let's just move that product. So that was my concealer. Now I'm gonna go in with the concealer that I use today, and it is the NARS Radiant Natural concealer. Now I understand that the shade under your eyes wants to be a little brighter, not orange. Nothing should be orange on your face. And I do the whole sweeping motion type of thing to make sure it gets all around there. I do some around the nose area to highlight that, and then I do some up here, down the nose, although that looks weird, but whatever, and then I do some on the chin to highlight that, all the high points of the face. Take my trusty beauty blender, because it's amazing, and blend all these things out. And then once I feel like it's blended out, I do not swipe, I just pat one of my fingers to make sure it is all into the skin. Next step would be powder, but I didn't know what powder was. I didn't know what translucent powder was, I didn't understand the benefits of it. So on this side of my face, I am not going to set any of this with powder, but on this side of my face, on the current side of my face, I will be going in with all the areas that I put concealer, and just oily areas in general. I'm going to put a little bit translucent setting powder, not a lot, just, you know, a little dusting, just to set and make sure that any oils that may poke out throughout the day, this will just help those. Alright, so next up is bronzer. I don't think my products that I use for bronzer are necessarily the worst things ever, so I went in Faux Tan by Bare Minerals. I used to love this stuff. Like, I used Bare Minerals like powder foundation and all their powder products like in high school, and then this just carried over into when I started like really playing with makeup. And then I also found this precision powder brush that I asked a Sephora assistant to help me with. So I would just get some in the lid and then swirl it around like that. I wouldn't tap. I didn't know what tapping was, okay? Tapping was foreign to me. So all the product would be on there. And then I understood that bronzer wanted to go the jawline, you know, but I didn't understand that it kind of wanted to go like this to lift your face, you know what I'm saying? So I would kind of just take it from the ear. I would just kind of go like this. So not like the worst, but at the same time, like, there's just a better way to apply your bronzer by going like this more than just like this. I then would not go up here like that. I never did that. Do a little bit, like take whatever was left on the brush and do jawline type of thing. And so not the worst. This brush is actually really good, but it's just, again, the application was just meh. So now what I use is the Benefit, I don't know what exactly this is called, but it's their Hoola bronzing brush, but it's just like it just blends really nicely. And I also discovered the Hoola Benefit bronzing powder. Love this stuff. I've hit pan, so I'm very upset. Tap that brush, okay? And then what I want to do is go, like, find my jawline, here it is, and go down more. So lift those cheeks up. And then just keep blending it, like don't let it get like a huge splotch on your cheek. Don't end there. Take it up to the rest of your face and make sure you're getting to the hairline. And then although it does seem a little bit bronzy right now because I have the powder on my face, I take this huge fluffy brush to brush that powder away and blend in any bronze that I wanted to blend. So this gets out there, blend it, and then any translucent powder that I have down here, just blends it all out. And then what I do now is I use this ambient lighting powder. It's like surreal finishing powder. Blend it out even more using this powder. It just makes your skin light up and I love it. Just gives it a nice glow, and then it blended out any bronzer that seemed a little patchy. I feel like my face has a little more dimension over here and it just feels a little flat over here. You know what I'm saying? So the next step for me is blush, and I still use the same blush brush, but the application is a little different. So this Hourglass palette, so it takes some, I wouldn't do that, no, I wouldn't pat it. And I would pack it, like instead of going like this, like again to get that airbrushed effect, I would pack it on the apples of my cheeks only. Like well first I would like bring it up a little bit, but the focus was there. I want those nice rosy cheeks. It's just like a blob of what the heck. Then now I recently have been into this Tarte Party Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush. Love this stuff. The color is really nice and it's like a mauve-y pink, I think, and it just looks really good. Take some, tap it, bring it up my face. Like kind of just, there's no splotch. It just kind of goes up my face. So there's like bronzer, a little bit of blush. So this part is going to give me hives because I, at the start of like learning really how to do like some makeup, did not know about eyebrows. I never did my brows. I never filled them in with anything. I didn't understand. I thought like brows were scary, and since I felt like I have a lot of them, I didn't need to shape them in any way. So this side of the face, we're gonna leave this. I'm going to shape this eyebrow. So what I do now is comb it through. I go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer pencil, and I just give them a little shape, starting with the wispies at the very beginning, just to give them that natural hair type of structure. Just giving them some shape, giving my ends a little pointiness to work with, and I fill them in. once I've done that. A little bit of shape, you know? A little bit more shape. I know my eyebrows are super out of control today, but this one, it just looks a little bit more patchy. You can see like it's just like doing its thing. And then when I started off makeup, highlight, no, forget brows, forget highlight. And I have the Becca highlight in Opal. Subtle enough for me that doesn't necessarily love a blinding highlight. I do go more natural with my highlight, and I put it tops of my cheeks. I don't know if you guys, yeah, see, like it just looks really, really natural. Down my nose. I'll try to do half my nose, but honestly, just a little bit of shine, you know? All right, moving on to eyes. Before, like when I was first starting, I literally would take this Bobbi Brown palette that I have from high school that my mom gave me in my stocking one year, and I would use, thankfully, this flat tip brush that I still use when I want to pack on the color. Probably I would go in depending on how I was feeling that day. If I just wanted to do a lighter look, I would stick with this shade, but if I wanted to do more pinky, I would do these shades and sometimes dip my brush in those. So today I'm going to go more of the pinky, so I'll dip my brush in a couple of those, just back and forth, back and forth. So then I just take this mirror that I have and I just apply this all over my lid. Forget going in the crease. No. And if I didn't feel like that was enough, apply some more. Little sheen. And that's my eyeshadow. Cool, check. Now for this side, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I got this on Christmas of 2016, so I started using it into 2017, but not in the way that eyeshadow palettes are supposed to be used. I shouldn't say supposed to be used. You can use makeup however you want. It's just, I feel like a farther way. I still have so much to learn, but as far as application and rules to like make it look a little bit better as far as application goes, I'm going to take this crease brush. It's the Bare Minerals Crease Defining Brush. First, I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to dip into Tempera, that shade right there, and just apply it to the lid to get a nice base going. I'm gonna go in with Raw Sienna, which is just this lighter, kind of tannish shade. Actually, I'm gonna go in with Warm Taupe to start. I'm gonna take this and just kind of go into the crease. There we go. See, just darkens that crease just a little bit. And then what I think I'm gonna do is go in, I'm gonna go with like a purpley, type of burgundy maybe. Start off with that purple transition. I'm gonna go in with this light purple shade here called Buon Fresco. Really nice light purple shade to like soften the lid a little bit. Darkens it a little bit more, brings it a little more purple. Let me scoot you guys in a little bit actually. I like that a lot. And then I'm gonna take the brush that this palette actually comes with. I'm gonna go in with, let's go pink actually. We're gonna go in with this Valentine red color. Just a little bit on the brush, tap tap, and I'm gonna work it into the crease and outer corner. And bring it in when I can. There we go, just a deeper type of color in the crease, a little bit of burgundy with that transition shade showing through. I really like that. I would never imagine playing with a color like this or colors like these when I was first starting off with makeup. That was so intimidating. I always usually go in with one of these two shimmery colors to put all over my lid to just finish it off. And so today I'm gonna go in with this more gold color called Primavera. Just take it with my finger and I just pack it on to the lid. I find that fingers do work best in these situations. That or a flat brush sprayed with like facial spray. So that makes a really nice brighter lid. And then I take this Pro blending brush. I always keep this brush clean and then like tap off the excess just like that before I go in with it, and I blend the crease colors up. I'm gonna take it farther into the crease and just blend that crease a little bit. And there you have it with the eyes. So this one again was just a pinky mix of like shimmery pinks and stuff, and then this one we just have a little more dimension going into the crease, a little more color. Crap, I almost forgot. I also do take, I promise I do this, I take this flat brush and I dip it into a couple of the colors that I used on my eyes, and then I take it from the corner and work it down. So it's just not super bare under my eyes and it looks more blendy. Okay, now for the lashes. Take them and I usually pulse for like 10 to 12 seconds or so. My lashes are like non-existent, quite honestly, but at least you can see them a little bit more here. The mascara that I'm currently into is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. This stuff is so natural while making my lashes feel very wispy and not clumped together, which I'm really into. And do a couple of coats. I think that looks really, really nice on that side of the face. And then, so these lashes are not curled, but I am going to go in with this Dior Show waterproof mascara. This is just mascara that my mom had that she wasn't using anymore, so I grabbed it and I was using it like there was like no tomorrow. I thought it was like mascara's mascara, doesn't matter what like kind. Like Dior's really nice, but like this was so, one, it's brown, and two, it's waterproof, so it doesn't come off for anything. And it's just a very thick brush, which is difficult to use. Oh my god, my lashes are so straight and it just wouldn't do anything. It's the lash game versus this lash game. Again, they're both very natural, but my current lash game I feel like was stepped up a bit. One, with the products that I use, just more like it's natural, but it makes them very wispy, whereas this just, nope. Not a fan, not a fan. So to top it all off, on this side of my face, I used to use, again, I got this in an Ipsy Glam bag. I still don't hate this color by any means. This is Florence Fig by Trestique, or however you say it. I don't think it's the worst color ever. I've just found a different type of lipstick that I really like that I'll show you in a minute. I also didn't over, like, not that I like to go over my lips a ton, but didn't accentuate them, I guess you would say. So I just followed my natural lip. And same here. So there's that, not the worst again, like it just wasn't too much of a nudie color, I think. I just like thought it was like, oh, it's pink, like this will work, like, and it does work. It's just, I go for different shades, I guess now. I go for more of those nudie shades. I have been absolutely loving the Kat Von D Everlasting liquid lipsticks, but specifically in the shade Ludwig. This is a really nice pinky nude color. I'm obsessed with it, and I love this liquid lipstick formula. Not all liquid lipstick formulas are my favorite, obviously, but this one I have found is really, really awesome. I love to use it, and so I'm going to take this. I don't overline ridiculously, but I do go a little bit outside, so it just makes my lips look a little more full. See, they're just a little bit overlined where it looks just a little bit fuller and nicer. So I think that is it. What do you guys think? I hope that you guys think that this side of my face looks a little bit nicer than this side of my face. I feel like this side just looks a little flatter and just not as much dimension. Like it just, like there's this blotchy like thing on my cheek, and like this lip color's not the best for me, and I also just like didn't accentuate my lips with it at all. And my eyeshadow and my eye game, can we just talk about it? Just looks so flat. Whereas this side just looks a little bit more dimension. My eyes look like way better. My eyebrow looks so much more filled in. Oh my gosh, than this one. Like honestly, like I'm a huge fan of the techniques that I've used and learned over the year. I know it doesn't make such a drastic difference, but I'm proud of myself for coming as far as I have in my makeup game, and I do hope that this side looks better. Just let me know in the comments below. I hope it does. But thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to give it a big old thumbs up because it lets me know that you liked it. And if you're new here and have not smashed the subscribe button yet, go ahead and do that. I would love to have you along. I appreciate each and every single one of you who comes in and watches my videos. I really, really do. And I will catch all of you next time. See you later.